There you go. And yeah, here we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Everything okay?
Good morning. Good morning. All good. Thank you. Really feeling good and quite happy and awake. I think yesterday I
Yeah,
was still a
awake.
bit
Yeah,
tired.
that's very important. Awake. I'm still
Yes,
having my coffee.
I'm having mine as well. We think alike.
Ah,
Yeah, no,
same.
it's been a fantastic day yesterday and obviously the weekend. And
Mm,
yeah, just enjoying, just being a lot more relaxed about what's going on in the world about COVID-19, and everything's looking a lot more positive and also optimistic as well.
yeah. Yeah, well, but it feels as if there's some sort of happiness in, well, it's not, last year by this time it was all doom and gloom. People were sad and we were, it was like, because we didn't have a lot of information on COVID
Yeah.
at that time. So people were not sure. People didn't know what to do, and But hey, now we're here. We've got
No, yes, yeah. So
yeah.
the numbers are definitely coming down, and there's a lot more positive news. So yes, so definitely a lot of positive news, and the figures are coming down, and not just in the UK. I think globally, everything's looking a lot more positive. So yes,
Okay.
yeah. So we'll go through the figures as well in a minute, and we
Yeah.
can discuss that. Yes.
Okay. Right. I've got some very interesting stories on that I'm looking at now. But first of all, let's check out what's happening in Scotland. And Nicola Sturgeon is to set out dates for the end of the stay-at-home rule and the reopening of shops and hospitality in Scotland.
Yes.
Some measures could be faced um, in from the 5th of April. So just around the corner, 5th of April, with further changes later in the month and more to follow in May.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Scotland, they're gearing themselves up to come out of lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, but Scotland has done well from the beginning, so there hasn't been really any
Yeah.
issues with Scotland. So they've done very well, and I mean that's great news. Obviously, what's going on? Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Right. The second story I want to talk about is the fact that Portugal
Yes, I read that.
Portugal will be removed from the red list of countries from where travel to England is banned after 4 o'clock on Friday. It means returning travelers will be able to quarantine at home rather than in a hotel at a cost of 1,750.
Yes.
I
read that yesterday.
I don't know why.
I read that last night, and I thought, oh, that's good news.
Yeah. I mean, my personal opinion, I don't know why Portugal has been removed and Brazil is still on. Ethiopia, Oman, Somalia, and Qatar, they will be added to the travel ban list. They haven't been added yet, but they will be added. But we got Brazil and I think Mozambique and Angola.
Yeah.
And the reason these countries were banned with Brazil is because with Portugal is because most of the flights from these countries they go through Portugal because they all former Portuguese colonies.
Yeah.
So most of the flights go through Portugal. So why are they taking Portugal out and leaving the rest?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I didn't understand why they were doing that. Portugal is number 26 in the world in terms of the worldometer. And yes, I mean, it is interesting why obviously they've taken Portugal out, but not other countries. Is it because it's one of also the top destinations that people go to? So I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah,
Yes,
maybe. I mean, it seems like
probably
obviously it's
because it's a top destination.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so it seems like obviously Portugal has come out. They're saying Mauritius will also be removed from the red list.
Mauritius.
Yeah.
Did you say Mauritius? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. They said that the Portugal had been removed from the red list, including Madeira and Azores, following evidence that showed the risk of importing a variant was reduced. So it's to do with the variant, and that's why Brazil is still on the list. But yeah, so
I see.
yeah, and
Anyway.
yeah. So, and then obviously Mauritius is all going to be removed from the red list as well. And yeah, I think it's still a lot of concern around obviously the variants, the UK variant, South African variant, and the Brazilian variant.
Okay, now let's talk vaccines. Yeah. This I've got two stories on vaccines. The first one is this: that the experts here in the United Kingdom say there will be a big increase in the number of people being offered COVID vaccinations in the coming days.
Yeah.
Well, I like that from my GP, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. The number of the number of shots given is expected to top 4 million this week.
Ooh.
Nearly double what has been achieved per week recently. That should mean all over 50s will have been given at least one dose by the end of the month. That will put the NHS rollout 2 weeks ahead of schedule, which is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
The increase has been made possible by large shipment of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine from the Serum Institute in India, which has arrived and passed safety checks.
Yeah.
So we're ahead of schedule in the United Kingdom, isn't it?
Yes. Seems to be that obviously they're doing quite well in terms of the vaccine rollout. They're quite determined to roll it out. Obviously, with the AstraZeneca, there are still concerns with that. But I think that's going to be something that's going to be there still for some time till we have more evidence and more research into what exactly could be the effects of the AstraZeneca, the Oxford vaccine. Yeah. So.
Right. In a related story, vaccine safety experts from the WHO are meeting on Tuesday today to review the Oxford AstraZeneca jab after several European countries halted their rollouts. There have been a number of cases in Europe of blood clots developing after the vaccine was administered. So, however, experts say the number of incidents matches the rate typically reported within the general population. But the European Medicines Agency is also meeting on Tuesday, and it is expected to issue its decision on the continued use of Oxford AstraZeneca vaccination on Thursday.
Yeah. And like you said yesterday, like I think you said that they will have, or I thought it was quite an intelligent answer about who will have all the guidance and all the information. So we might just be getting snippets of what's going on. We're hearing about this country has had reported, effects, maybe Norway, Denmark, Ireland, or Holland, or wherever, US. So I think WHO will have all the guidance and all the information. So all the up-to-date statistics. So each of the countries, the person who's responsible to be a WHO representative for the COVID-19 and the vaccination part will obviously provide that information. They will have to disclose that information to the WHO, the World Health Organization. So I think this meeting is really important. It's a step, obviously, in order to tackle whatever's gone on with the AstraZeneca, which obviously is a concern globally. I mean, it's sparked concern all over. And like you even said yesterday, what if someone goes to have a vaccine and then they say, I don't want to have the AstraZeneca? What's going to happen then? So, but we know that WHO has said that there isn't, they were actually saying this last week that it was safe to take the AstraZeneca vaccine, but obviously it's still early days, and it'll be interesting to see what comes out of the meeting today.
Mm. Yeah, we're waiting. We want to see what
Because
comes
I mean,
out.
suspending the use, as you said, even it's not something that's done lightly. It's not just done without any reason and without any evidence. So hopefully they might change people's mind in terms of what has happened with the AstraZeneca. But I think what they're saying is that the person died from a blood clot after having the vaccine, which obviously is a concern. So yeah.
We heard about what's going on in India with the spike of the pandemic. The
Yes.
spike of the coronavirus has gone crazy in India.
Yeah.
So this story, oh my goodness. They say India recorded its highest single day spike this year on Monday. That's yesterday.
Yeah.
And with 291 new coronavirus cases reported in the last 24 hours.
I wonder why. I wonder if it's due to the celebrations. I told you it was Shivaratri last week, Thursday. So there were a lot of people, and they would have gone to temples and celebrations and get together. It was celebration of Lord Shiva. So I wonder, because I watched the one from the Isha Foundation from Satguru, and there were thousands of people. I think I told you I watched the 24-hour live transmission. It was lovely, but I was a bit concerned. I mean, there was a lot of people in close proximity. Some were wearing masks. But I'm not sure if everyone had masks on. So I don't know if it's related, but yeah, so India has recorded quite a large number, over 24 to 26,000 in the last 24 hours, and it's taking it up to over 11 million, 11.4 million. So it seems that obviously, I mean, they haven't really said why it's going up, but I wonder if it's related. So they're saying Mumbai, so India's has reported, so it's 6 days in a row, they've had over 20,000 cases, and they've vaccinated over 26 million. I don't know if it's just related to the total, like the population. I'm not sure, or if is this another wave that we are seeing that people are concerned about? Has this started early in India? Because India has been managing the pandemic quite well, even though they are number 2 in the world.
I thought so, and I think they are managing it quite well, because in spite of the huge numbers, but India proper, I think. I might be wrong, but I think India has the second highest population in the world. Yeah.
Yes.
The second to China.
Yes. So that's why I was saying, like, is it maybe just due to the different because of the population we're seeing high number. Yeah, so it's total 11.4 million that has gone, that it has now. So it's quite high, and there's a place that actually gives you all the different figures from different states in India. So it'll be interesting to see which state has the largest. So it seems, I mean, there's a lot of states.
It's I saw it. I read it yesterday after you'd left, and I was doing the world news, and it says,
I think
Maharashtra. Here it is. It says the caseload has been steadily climbing for weeks now. 7 other states, Kerala, Punjab, Karnataka, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, they are reporting a surge in infections, but mainly it's the western state of Maharashtra.
Yeah.
Maharashtra.
Yeah. Oh, well done.
Which they're saying has long been a virus Sorry, hotspot. What did you say?
And I said, well done in pronouncing all of those. That was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'll start studying Sanskrit.
Exactly. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was good. Yeah. So West Maharashtra, that's the name of the state where that has been a hotspot. And as you said, that the seven states, Kerala, Punjab, Karnataka, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, these are the ones where they are having the surge. So, yeah, so it's quite obviously a concern. And they're not saying why we're seeing a surge. They're just saying that it's typical of urban life. That's why the surge is being reported in the bigger estates. So the bigger states, because they are more sort of westernized, I would say. So they're saying, and there's also from other cases in Mumbai, Thane, Pune, Nagpur, and yeah, Maharashtra and Kerala. So these are all the urbanized areas of India, which is surprising because I would think that it's more the rural areas that we might have seen.
Yeah, but initially that was the case, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think we did something. We did, and I think when you were reporting from India, you mentioned it that it's mainly the rural areas.
Yeah.
But it looks as if it's flipped now. It looks as if it's more the urban areas now.
Yes.
Instead of the
Yeah. So what they're saying is that so they have followed with restrictions. So there's night curfews and closure of markets. So they're going to close markets because obviously in India, like China and some other countries, they have markets open till quite late. So they are trying to. So this seems to be. It started in January where they started to see an increase in the number of cases. So it seems that obviously this is probably the second wave they've been going through. And it's also obviously coincided with the rollout of the vaccine. Yeah, so well, we'll just have to monitor and see what's going on. But the government is obviously trying its best and to manage the challenge and also the spread of the virus. Um, yeah, I'm hopeful that they will be able to. As I told you, like when I spoke to some of the doctors that I teach in India, they said everyone wears a mask, even people in the street. So this must be somehow they must be just going through their phase of um, the one of the waves in which they are in.
wow. And I believe because India is a very religious country, and people, they go to temples and churches and synagogues and mosques, and so probably, the gathering of congregations and all that could be a factor.
Yeah.
As you mentioned earlier on that that religious celebration
Shivratri
could have had an impact on the spread of, could have helped cause the spread and all that.
Yes, I do believe that actually. I do think it's that because we're not hearing about the variants, So I was surprised. The news is not saying anything about the variants in terms of why India. But India is a place where a lot of people are still traveling. So let's see what happens. But I think you're right. It's probably because of the religious activity and people going to temples, mosques, and synagogues and other religious places because India that never stopped. I think some temples did close. For example, when I was at Sai Baba's temple in Puttupati, around the time when we did our show, when I did it live in February, so it was still open. But when I came back, I think late on in March, they had actually closed, so they didn't allow anyone to go in to the temples. But I think, as you said, it might have been that they've relaxed the rules, and they had Shivaratri last week Thursday, so I think it might have contributed to this.
what we've got. What numbers we got today.
Yeah.
Or anything else to report on?
No, I mean, the only thing I caught my eye this morning was about the story that we've discussed. So Portugal and also the WHO discussing about the vaccine, but nothing really else. Yeah, so in terms of the Worldometer figures, 16th of March already, time's just going. So 16th of March 20.
Yeah, tell me about it.
The week's just going, and it's 120,784,671 positive cases globally. In terms of the number of deaths globally is 2,672,488. Total recovered is 79,434,194. So hopefully we'll reach a milestone of 100 million that have recovered soon. So USA number one with 30,138,586 positive cases, and total deaths was 548,013. Brazil number two with 11,525,477, with 279,602 409,000.
Yeah, okay. So,
sorry, India, yeah?
Brazil is number two.
Yeah, Brazil number two. Sorry, what did I? Yeah, Brazil.
No.
Brazil number two.
Yeah, you said it, but what I'm saying is, so Brazil is overtaking India now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, it seems to be. Even though India is reporting high numbers.
India was number two, wasn't it?
India was always number two. So they obviously.
Yeah, but India is number three now.
India's gone to number three. So seems like obviously Brazil seems to be quite high. So Brazil is number two with 11,525,477, with 279,602. Yeah. India is 11,409,831 positive cases, with 158,892 deaths. Russia number four with 400,045 positive cases, with 92,494 deaths. UK 4,263,527 positive cases, with 125,580. So UK remains number 5. Yeah, so that's interesting that they've swapped Brazil and India. South Africa remains number 16 with 1,530,033 positive cases, with 51,421 deaths. And coming to Ghana, Ghana is number 88 with 87,985 positive cases, with 691 deaths. And then the 24-hour figure that in the UK, yeah. So
there's mass vaccination going on in Ghana, you know.
Yes, you did report that, yeah.
Yeah. It's like everybody's getting in now. People are going queuing and they're getting the vaccine. You know.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
So hopefully things will. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So the
we haven't got much to report on today.
Yeah. So
the 24 hours. Yes.
Yes, I'm doing that. Yeah. So 24 hours is 64 new deaths.
You can tell I haven't slept much today.
I can see. What happened? What happened?
I don't know. I was awake doing some work, so.
Okay. It happens. We all I think yesterday morning I felt like that. Monday mornings is usually my time like that. And not that we even stayed up late, but I was just tired Monday morning. But yeah, I know you're a night owl. So yeah, 64 new deaths in the UK. So yesterday was 52, 24 hours,
52.
64. So it's coming, so it's staying sort of that level, which is great.
Yeah.
And we've got 5,089 new deaths, new cases, sorry, new cases, 5,089 new cases. I was just thinking that, I was getting so excited this morning, and I'm thinking, like, because yesterday we reported 52 new deaths, and every life matters, so I'm not getting excited about that. But I was just getting excited to know that the figures are going down. And I'm thinking that, it's coming so close that we are going to be one day saying there's 0 cases, 0 deaths. So fingers crossed. I am so hopeful for that day. It's coming so close.
It has to come soon. Something.
Yeah. I mean, 60. I mean, what do you think? 64 new deaths and 5,089 new cases. And obviously, what we're hearing and seeing in the news that the number of admissions to hospital has reduced significantly. So you know what? I'm really grateful. I think that the government doing the lockdown again and having we had the different tier system, November, December, and then we had the lockdown before Christmas and after Christmas, and and from Guy Fawkes Day. So, there's been so much. And I think as a result of November and December being tackled so well after we had the increase in September when schools opened and universities opened, we definitely have seen the positive results of that. And I think that is the reason why we are seeing such low numbers. And I think people then realize when we saw the second surge in September, people started to think, okay, this is real now. We really need to do something, we're going into lockdown. And I think also everyone wants to come out of lockdown because people are tired of it, to be honest. I've been speaking to people are just tired. Yeah, I mean, they haven't seen, like for Mother's Day, I mean, people haven't, like my aunt was saying, they haven't seen their kids for months. They haven't seen their grandchild. They've seen them online. So my aunt Anusi was saying, they haven't seen their children for months. They've got one child staying with them, but they haven't seen their daughter and granddaughter, and likewise with my other aunt and other friends and family. So I think people have got it. They want lockdown to finish. So I think we're at a very, very good place. But this is a point where we really need to be very careful. And I think the government is going to be very careful as well.
Yes. And on that note, we come to the end of today's COVID update.
We still have 1 minute.
For joining us.
But I know I've not seen you like this before. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I'm absolutely shattered. But hey, I don't wanna. Well, we'll get some music on, and we'll get Ginger, then we'll start dancing, won't we?
Yes, if you play some nice songs, I'm gonna start dancing. Yeah.
We'll put some nice song on.
Well, I hope you have a lovely rest. And have a good rest, and enjoy the rest of your day. You will rest, hopefully.
Right after this show.
Thanks again, yes, for yesterday. Okay. I was so touched with the songs that you played. It really, really meant a lot. Thank you so much. That song for my mom, A Heavenly
You're
Song.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Have
Sester,
a fantastic day. Lots of love. Bye.
Dr. Sester.
Thanks, everyone, for joining. There was a Hospital Radio Bedford. Stay safe and namaste, guys.